Thanks for tuning in. My name is Stuart. I'm going to be talking about my latest park run and my training for the last week. So, as I've said in many of my other videos, my general training schedule is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Run 3 or 4 miles on every single one of those days, rest on a Friday, and then run on a Saturday. So I've been doing that, and because it's been getting colder, I find that I've been running less. Now, I thought that this would probably not be a good thing for my form, but something quite surprised me. In the last week, partly because of the weather, but also partly because of my weekly schedule, I was only able to run once. So I ran on Wednesday, went out for a run, 4 miles, at about 9 minutes a mile. And I just thought to myself, well, I'm running on Saturday. I don't really think I've got a good chance of beating any personal bests or even running a good time. So I went out and I ran, and to my surprise, I ran my best time for that course, which is 26:44, which is an improvement from 27:30 that I ran 3 weeks previously, albeit in worse conditions. 26:44. So yeah, I ran on Wednesday only. So just one run in between the Saturday park run the previous Saturday and the next Saturday. Only one training run. I set off on this run. There were only about 50 runners, and I decided to start relatively slowly. So I let the main pack go off, and I counted more or less roughly about 30 runners in front of me, and I ended up finishing 11th. So obviously, I I ran conservatively, and when I checked my time, my splits later, I realised that I ran the first mile in about 8 minutes 50. I ran the second mile in about 8 minutes 40, and then I finished off running the third mile in about, I think, 8:50 again. And my last 200 meters was at 4 minutes 45 kilometer pace. So I ran a relatively even race. I noticed a lot of park runners, they go off fairly quickly. They go off fast, and it's not too difficult to pick them off one at a time, which I did do. I started off in 30th place, and I started picking off runners. I mean, actually, some runners stop, believe it or not. There's one girl who's about 12 years old who goes off with the leader, and she's with him for the first 400 meters, and then she just starts walking. And I went past her at about probably 500 meters or something like that. But there are lots of other runners that just start too fast. So you've just got to be patient. And if you see somebody in front of you, you can soon sense whether you're closing down on them or not. And I noticed that I was very, very slowly closing down on quite a lot of runners. And I mean, I wasn't flying past them. I was going past them very slowly, but I was making very steady progress. And so at the end of the run, I timed at 26:44, which is more or less a 45-second improvement on my previous time on this course. In fact, the guy that finished just behind me said to me straight away, "Oh, you've probably set a personal best there." And I realized when I looked at who he was that 2 weeks ago when I ran on this course, he actually was about 5 or 6 seconds ahead of me. And there was another guy that I beat on Saturday who was about 20 seconds ahead of me. So I was really sort of pleased with that, because I remember these guys when I ran 27:30, they were ahead of me and I just couldn't get with them. But on this occasion, I went past them and I kept going. So I was really sort of pleased with that. So what's going on that I can run, my best time on this particular course? For me, an impressive run, and yet I only trained once during the week. Well, I suppose that I'm giving my muscles and my legs a really good chance to, how shall we say, heal or condition before the actual run. I know one of the problems with running every day is that if you don't have any rest days, then there's no chance for your muscles, etc., to condition and repair by the next run. I'm not I'm not generally going to do this and only run once in the week, because I think that probably the reason I ran well is that I've been running consistently, you know, 3 or 4 times in the week, Monday to Friday. And it's only in the last 1 or 2 weeks that I've only been able to run once or twice between park runs. So I've got a lot in the tank. I think that's probably the truth of it. Yeah, so I went out and I ran did a training run yesterday, 4 miles again, just over 9 minutes per mile. Also noticed my stride length is improving on my Garmin anyway, if that's anything to be believed. When I started off and I was running 36 minutes, it was a meter per pace, per step. Now it's 1 meter 15 per step. So obviously the faster I'm getting, the more my stride length is, which I'd like to eventually be somewhere around about 1.5 meters, but I'm probably some way from that. Am I going to be able to get to 25 minutes, which is my target by the end of the year? Actually, probably not. But I'm running at Woollerton Park in Nottingham on Saturday. It's a fast course. I ran 26 minutes 25 there 4 weeks ago. That is my actual personal best. Although my Garmin said that I ran 5.1k last time out, and that my 5k best time is 26:03. But I'll take my best 5k time as the official time, 26 minutes 25, and I'll see if I can get under 26 minutes at Woollerton Park this weekend. If I don't, I won't be too disappointed, but it will be nice to feel right and feel strong and make some good progress on the run. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and I look forward, if you've got any comments to make, I'll be glad to hear them. Bye for now. Oh, just one more thing. Yeah, the photograph on the thumbnail, that is actually me running when I ran 26:44 on Saturday. Yeah, I don't look good. I know that I don't look good. I don't like my running style. My feet are not straight on the ground. That's to do with my gait, and there doesn't really seem to be much I can do about that. So I just run how I run. And as long as I'm improving and feeling good, I don't really care which way my feet are pointing. Okay, thanks for watching. Goodbye.